Alright people, Big Ed here, working on the 2012 Harley Roadking. Working on putting my 16-inch Apehangers on. This is part 2. I did a video yesterday where I've got all the headlight and all that off. I drained the fluid out of the reservoir yesterday, and then I unhooked both brake lines. I put a rag around it before I unhooked the line to catch whatever fluid was left in there. And I put a plastic bag on each of the lines to keep it from any drips and stuff. Got a bag on that side too. I disconnected the brake assembly right here. There's a bolt that goes up under there that holds this brake assembly. So now I've got to undo this brake line, and I can pull this brake assembly out, because I have a new brake assembly, being as I'm putting 16-inch Apehangers on. This is the new brake assembly. Also, I drained the transmission fluid. And I started working on these, taking the cover off. I got all the bolts out except for the top two ones. I'm working on getting the clutch cable unhooked up here, and then I'll unhook it down there. For these bottom two bolts, I had to use 2 Allen wrenches because my socket wouldn't fit in there. These are the same size, but I used the longer one first to reach it. And then once I got it backed out a little ways, I got one that I ground down to help get it out. I tried to loosen up the exhaust nuts up in there and up in there. It didn't seem to loosen it up. So there's probably a bunch of other brackets and shit, but I'm able to get them out. Now I gotta see whether I can get them back in when it comes time to do that. Before y'all go taking all these wires and stuff apart, mark them. Like this one, I put an X on. So what I would do is look for the other one with an X. It's actually not an X, it's a plus. So I marked that one with a plus. And I know it goes to this one right here because it's got a plus. This one's got a solid line. This one's got a solid line. This one's got a dot, a black dot, and a big white dot. I don't know where the other end is right now, but anyways, mark all your cords before you start unplugging them. That way you know where they go back to. Then I took off the 2 screws for the clutch lever. These 2 screws right here. Undid them and pulled the clutch lever off. Then you have a pin right here. It's a black pin And on the back is a snap ring. I already took the snap ring off. You gotta have some tiny ass snap ring pliers. So now I can pull the pin out. Try and do it with one hand. That's what the pin looks like. Put it in my box. And then you got to loosen up the jam nut. You loosen up that nut right there, because this was backed all the way up. So you want to get as much slack in your clutch cable as possible. So once you do that, get the slack in it. Then you can pull this out. I don't know how you guys do this shit with one hand. Looks like another pin right there. Hold on for a minute. You want to pull that out, and that'll free up your clutch cable. Put it in your box. I noticed this has a piece that was broken off. It'll still work once I tighten up the tighten these up. But in the near future, I will pick up another one. All right, after y'all get the cable off from the handlebar end, and you want to go back down here, you want to get up underneath and make sure there's no zippy ties holding that cable in place. Y'all gotta forgive my professional videotaping here, but it is what it is. So I got the cover off. I'd already drained the fluid. When you pull this cover off, put it over here in the light. So when you pull that cover off, the cable is going to come through here. It's screwed in. It screws into this hole from the outside in. And this little piece goes on the end of the cable. Right there. And then it locks into that groove right there. I took the snap ring out to make it easier to get this off. And if you pull that snap ring off, make sure you look at the location of the snap ring. Some people say it makes a difference. Some people say it doesn't. But I put it back the way it was. And when you pull this off, don't forget there's 3 big ball bearings under there. So don't lose them. Put that in there so I don't lose it. Well, I'm running out of light. It's getting where I can't see too good. I don't have a big fancy shop with good lighting. But don't forget to mark your wires. Both connectors so that you can identify which one. You can put numbers, put a box, or but everyone's got to be different. So if you have a plus and a plus, that they go together. If you have a minus and a minus, or a circle and a circle, or a 1 and a 1, or a 2 and a 2, it'll make your life a lot easier when you go to put it back together. So I'm gonna pull this brake line off, but I'm not gonna videotape that. And tomorrow I'll be pulling the handlebars off and fitting the new ones on, just to see how they are and make sure all the cables and everything are going to be the right length. So anyways, peace out, people.